Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Friday the 19th of April. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm using the Trip and Wait Tarot. I just want to tell you a little bit of a story how I came across this deck. Last year or the year before, I had a spare moment and I was looking online and I found a GoFundMe page or some sort of raise money page for a deck called the Twisted Tarot Tales, and it really appealed to me because it was based on 80s horror stories, and I really liked that kind of stuff. That's when I was born in the 80s, and those kitschy kind of campy horror stories with the creature from the Blue Lagoon or whatever. And Dracula and all of those things really appealed to me, and The Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that stuff. So I became aware of the deck. I spoke to the guy who was responsible for creating it, James, and we kind of built this relationship. And that's strange enough in itself because I don't really have a lot of straight male friends. I've got a couple, but they're not really my demographic of people who I hang out with. So when he came up with this deck, he sent it to me for me to use. You can get it at tarotcollectibles.com, and it was just because of that moment of looking around that we built this bridge, and now I get to use a deck which I genuinely love and like, and I got it for free and I've got a signed copy. So it's just an example of how synchronicity sometimes happens and puts you together with people you would never imagine yourself being with. So let's have a look at what the energy is about on Friday the 19th. We've got a full moon happening on this day, so have a look at the full moon in Libra video that I made on this. It'll give you more information. But let's have a look at what the cards want to say about this day. There are a couple of drug references in this deck, which I'm not that fond of as a recovering alcoholic. I'm using a deck that kind of glorifies drug use. Very clever. But, it is what it is. So, I don't condone, I'm not supporting drugs, just so you know my stance on that. Mushrooms and cannabis and smoking joints and stuff. I'm not promoting that. It's just what this deck has. So, first of all, we have a major arcana card. We have the Sun, looking very jolly there. And then we have the Ten of Swords, and we have the Seven of Cups. So, the Sun, as you can see, is a source of joy and happiness and laughter and good times in life. The inner child is just thrilled. It's got its arms open and spread out. It's sitting on its pony. We've got this blue sash there. The feelings are just sunny, sunny, sunny. It doesn't get much better than this. So you feel absolutely wonderful. You feel fabulous in yourself. Your inner child feels so great. And you are just in a good place. The next card is the Ten of Swords, and this is kind of the opposite, but I like the way they've made this pink and really sweet. We've got this corpse, and he is being stabbed in the back several times, and the element of swords the element that's associated with swords is air, and air is about communication and thinking, and the way you talk to people, and the way you talk to yourself. And he's at rock bottom because he's told himself that he's not good enough and that he'll never make it. And other people have lied to him and sabotaged him and stabbed him in the back and manipulated him. And that's why he's at rock bottom. Now, the 10th card of any suit is always a transition card. Nothing lasts. Nothing is forever. So there's a transition involved in this, and we've got the Sun, you feeling wonderful and being able to change your thinking by looking at what your options are, and by dreaming again, and by skipping over this in a sense and going straight to, I've got the choice to do whatever I like. I can pursue power, or I can pursue wisdom. I can pursue being the most beautiful version of myself that I can be. And that's something that's going to make me happy. And that then allows you to pull those swords out, to set a new goal for yourself, to pursue that happily. And instead of having these swords then as weapons which are stabbing you in the back, you can use them to build bridges with people who are going to help you get to where you want to go. So it's a day to leave behind all the negative stuff of the past, all the betrayals and all the disappointments and all the mistrust. Put that in a pink little bubble together with all of the things that could be, and realize that that's the past and you're happy regardless of what other people do. You know, that's their stuff. Someone wants to sabotage you, good for them. Let them try and sabotage you. No one can rob you of your sunny disposition and of your spiritual strength and your joyous disposition and your focus on the future and what you would like to achieve. So it's turning lemons into lemonades. It's turning limes into margaritas. It's taking these swords and plucking them out and enjoying the pink and picking one of these goals, pink, and taking the swords to actually have useful communication. And you've got an abundance of swords here. Once these are all pulled out, the guy gets up. He has a handful of 10 swords, and each sword is a positive conversation or a potential bridge that he can put in place to get somewhere. So he can build a bridge all the way over there across this big lake to achieve his mission of becoming the most beautiful man in the world, because the gym is over there and he gets to train and work out there every day. And then he's a muscle god and everyone admires him, and his inner child says, "Oh, I'm just so thrilled. I always wanted to look like this, and now look at me. I am Adonis. I'm a human god here on planet Earth, and all the women and some of the men adore me and all see me as an object of desire, and they all want me, and I'm so thrilled." So it's a great day to leave behind past disappointments and to set new goals. See, it's turning around by itself. The swords are going to be pulled out, and you can use negative experiences to your favor to build new bridges, and you forget about the bad stuff and you focus on the good stuff. What have we got? We have 19 in terms of the numbers. It really does want to turn around. Isn't that funny? 19 and 10 is 29. And 7 is 36. Oh, these are my birth numbers. 36 is 9. And 9 is spirituality and completion. So in spiritual truth, you're already complete. You're already the Adonis that you want to be in spiritual truth. It's just that your body has to catch up with that concept. And whatever you imagine yourself to be will ultimately come to pass. If you see yourself as, this child, this man, if it sees itself growing up as a man who is incredibly muscular and with a beard and who exudes masculinity and who wants, its main focus is attractiveness and looking a certain way and really being an object of desire, that is always something that's in its mind. And because it's in its mind, the spiritual truth, that will become reality. Whatever obstacles are in this child's way, when it grows up, it will ultimately become that muscle god, because that's what it's always thought itself of and that's how it's going to be reflected. Your body does what you tell it to do. Your body becomes what you decide it ought to look like, especially these days with plastic surgery and all of the things we can do to change our appearance. But that doesn't need to be your only goal. You can start a wonderful medicinal marijuana business today if you want. You can go after creating financial independence. You can go after becoming a spiritual teacher and learning how to meditate and downloading content from a higher being and doing something like Seth Speaks or the Course in Miracles, where you're sitting there and you're channeling a higher being and you're creating a book which is then going to really build bridges with millions of people, because millions of people are going to read that book and are going to benefit from it. So it really just depends on what your goal is. And that's the point. You're happy, you're in a good place so that you can set goals and you can take all the bad stuff from the past, draw a line under it, and use all of this BS that has happened to you, and you can transform it to actually turn these swords into bridges, and you can walk over them, over the lake, line them up, and you walk over each one of the swords, and together they make a lovely bridge for you to get to that horizon, the light at the end of the tunnel. So the people who thought they were harming you, joke's on them, because you're transforming that now, and it's actually helping you get to where you want to go. So remember who you are in spiritual truth. You're invincible. You're a perfect child of the universe. You're unconditionally loved, and you can have whatever it is you want. So have a wonderful day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to audio reading. In my personal reading, I combine numerology and tarot and astrology. So the way I just combine the numbers here with the cards, I combine all three divination systems in the personal readings. And that gives me a really, really in-depth overview of who you are as an individual and what you're all about. It shows me what your life purpose is, what you're talented at when it comes to work. So what the best job for you would be in a practical sense. What job would give you the most sense of fulfillment and joy and also pay you the most. It shows me what your strengths and weaknesses are, what you need to work on, what's destined for you in certain areas such as love and romance and travel, relationships with siblings and family, spiritual development and personal development, your hopes and dreams coming true, fame, and whether that's something that's coming up for you. I can answer really any question that you have by using these tools, which allow me to tap into my intuition. And if you have anything, and it can be as obscure as you want it to be, if you have anything that you want to ask me, and I can give you an answer. So head over to gregoryscott.com to the audio reading. Have a lovely, lovely Friday here. Check out the full moon video, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.